This week, I dig Saga, a graphic novel written by Brian K. Vaughan and illustrated by Fiona Staples. She does all the art in this book. This amazing book. I really dig this. So much, in fact, that I don't have anything written about it, and I'm just going to talk off the dome about why I like this book so much. A lot of times, you'll hear people these days complaining about reboots and the fact that a lot of stories are being recycled over and over again. And although I do feel like no new story can really be told at the core, I think a lot of new stuff and interesting stuff is being put out. This is a really good example of something that you don't get a story like this very often. Brian K. Vaughan is a really good comic author who's written good books like Why the Last Man and Pride of Baghdad. He's also done some other stuff that I can't remember right now. But this story, it's about two soldiers living in in a futuristic sci-fi society. There's a lot of spaceships flying around, but it's also fantasy, because you have this one culture that's sort of heavily tech based with guns and all that stuff. Another culture it's magic based. They have dragons and stuff like that running around. And these two people from different cultures have a baby together, even though they're not supposed to be doing that sort of stuff, and they're on the run. So that's how the book starts. The story is written so well. It is, although there's a lot of serious stuff happening, there's a lot of emotional content as well. It's very funny written. All the characters seem to want something specifically. And Vaughn's done a really good job of sort of expressing that through these characters and having them try and get what they want. The art in this is fantastic. Fiona Staples, she has her style I think is really, how would I describe it? It's really sharp stuff in the foreground, like hard inks. Who would I liken her to? David Aja, if you're familiar with him at all. The backgrounds though are very soft, like there are almost no lines in them. Like colors blend into each other. Very good use of color from her. And the character design I also need to talk about in this game. This comic book. Look how worked up I am. The characters you see me animating in this are the Stock and the Will, two bounty hunters from this. Two of my favorite characters. Almost any character you pick out from this book is my favorite character. It's so well done. This character, the Stock, is this eight-legged Spider-Woman hybrid who she's a shit talker, and she like runs around holding weapons in each of her arms, blowing people up. The Will he's sort of a classic scoundrel type mercenary. He has this really cool sidekick called Lying Cat. It's this cat that it can only say the word lying, and it calls people on their shit basically if they're lying. There's just so much grandiose stuff in this book. The characters, you got Prince Robot, some guy who's like this computer man hybrid. He has like a computer screen for a head. Sort of reminds me of a character from Fooly Cooly. Anyway, I also wanted to say this. Another thing that makes this story unique is it's really, I think you can attribute a lot of it to very strong female lead characters who are dealing with things like pregnancy, trying to raise a child, things like that. You don't get a lot of that in comics, and that's another discussion that's sort of flying around in the fiction world and all that, how we sort of need more diverse characters, and there are a lot of diverse characters in this. You'll notice that as you're reading through it. What else can I say about this? You really should pick up this book for the art, the storyline. Everything sort of merges together perfectly. There's the story's told by a character who is living way in the future, sort of telling you about her parents, telling you about their past. I haven't been reading many comics, but this thing is just I don't like using the word masterpiece a lot, but it's just everything fits well together. I hope I've convinced you just a little bit to go pick up this book. The first volume, the first trade is like $10. I can't say enough good things about this book. Otherwise I'd go on forever. Saga, Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples, pick this up. It is my favorite book I've read in a really long time. It's right up there with Sandman. It's also ongoing. There are only 3 trades out right now, so go out, pick it up. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next week.